When we talk about love, life, and losses, we all share the deep love of a mother for her children. Every mother, looking at her children, hopes to give them the best and guide them on the right path. However, life sometimes takes unexpected turns, and our decisions can leave us with scars that are hard to heal. This is the case of Khan, whose story reveals a bitter truth. Attracted to a lifestyle he could never have lived in his country, he moved to Italy. There, he immersed himself in the fascinating but dangerous nightlife, surrounded by parties, alcohol, and the search for fleeting pleasures. However, this lifestyle was like poison, causing deep damage both to his life and character. Alcohol, a misunderstood element for many, presents itself as an escape route, but over time, it erases the identity of those who fall into it. As Khan loses himself in this easy life, the greatest damage is done to himself, forgetting the fundamental values of life, such as sincerity and fidelity. This is a common tragedy. Once you stray from the path, it becomes almost impossible to return. This is a common tragedy. Once you stray from the path, it becomes almost impossible to return. On the other hand, Demet's story is another painful example of how love and patience are tested. Khan's behavior, influenced by alcohol, left deep scars in Demet's heart. It's hard to imagine the pain of a woman who is constantly humiliated, whose words are ignored, and whose innermost being is wounded by the actions of the one she loves. Despite her pure and sincere love, Demet carried a weight that not all women could bear. No one should accept living in humiliation, feeling useless and worthless. These stories teach us something important. The suffering of people shapes their character, but unfortunately, those changes are not always positive. Alcohol is not just a temporary relief. It is a corrosive element that deeply impacts life, mind, and relationships. The consequences of following this path do not only affect the individual, but also shake the loved ones around him. Khan's nightlife in Italy was just an illusion, a way of escaping from himself. By living a life he could never have had in Turkey, he gave up his values and roots. In our society, we often allow ourselves to be seduced by easier and more attractive options. But over time, these decisions can lead us to lose what is most precious, our loved ones and ourselves. The greatest loss in these cases is the hope and trust of those who remain. Mothers want the best for their children, but society must also share these same feelings. Every lost love, every broken heart is actually the shared pain of the whole society. The story of Demet and Khan is a warning. We must be cautious with our choices and not forget the true meaning of life. Love and respect are the values that really matter, far more than material pleasures. As a society, we must ensure that these values are not rejected, and especially, we must guide younger generations on the right path. Our greatest wish should be to look to the future with hope, undertake new projects, and learn from the mistakes of the past. In the case of Demet and Khan, I hope the second chances that life offers will allow them to make the right decisions and find inner peace. Human life, despite the pain, can be rebuilt and loved again. This story is a clear example of how alcohol can change your life and character, and how even a simple escape can be destructive. Although Demet continues to believe in love despite the pain, Khan will have to pay the price for his decisions. At this point, it is each of our duties to distinguish between right and wrong, lead a healthy life, and most importantly, value and care for our loved ones. Because true happiness comes from sincere love, shared memories, and a future built together. It is curious how many followers point out that, despite her enormous talent, Demet has not always received the recognition she deserves compared to other actors of her generation, such as Khan Yaman. Some of her followers believe that, despite her ability and popularity, the industry has not given her the same opportunities as other colleagues. This lack of recognition from the media and the industry has become a recurring theme among her followers, who believe Demet should have received more opportunities and fairer treatment. This highlights the inequalities that often exist between actors, especially women, in the entertainment world, and how power structures can influence the visibility and success of actresses. Despite all of this, Demet has managed her image on social media with great skill. In a world where digital presence has become crucial, she has managed to use platforms like Instagram to connect directly with her followers and maintain a close relationship with them. Many of the comments she has received highlight how accessible and genuine she is on these platforms, contributing to strengthening the bond with her audience. This constant interaction has been one of the keys to keeping Demet relevant, not only in Turkey, but also in many other countries where her productions have been very successful. Without a doubt, This closeness to her audience is one of the elements that has helped her remain one of the most beloved figures in Turkish television. However, not everything has been easy for Demet, and several comments reflect that at times she has been unfairly criticized or misunderstood. Sometimes, fans express concern about how some media or people around her create narratives that don't match reality. In a world where rumors and news can circulate quickly, public figures like Demet must be very careful with the image they project, as any misunderstanding or slip-up can have negative consequences. Despite all of this, she has shown great resilience in overcoming obstacles with dignity and elegance, making her an example of resilience. Despite all of this, she has shown great resilience in overcoming obstacles with dignity and elegance, making her an example of resilience. What stands out most in her followers' comments is the respect Demet has earned for her professional attitude regardless of difficulties. Just like Can Yaman, who has spoken about the importance of taking care of actors' mental and physical health, Demet has also been recognized for her ability to manage stress and the pressures of her work without it affecting her quality of life. The entertainment industry, especially in a country like Turkey, can be extremely demanding, and long recording hours are a constant. Despite this, Demet has been able to balance her professional life with her personal life admirably, something that is not always easy for someone in her position.